Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Freedom Fest 2016. We are reporting to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, and Planet Hollywood. Yes, Mark and Joanne Skousen have put on a stupendous event this year. Well regarded, actually attended. And so, one of the attendees here we ran into today, and he's a superstar in his own right, and why not just be cheesy enough to ask him to come over for an interview? We have him actually chained to the chair, so he can't leave. Javier Salazar, who is one of the hosts. His brother is the co-host, but he told us that he's the most important piece. Javier Salazar is with us today from the first podcast out of Texas. Good day, sir. Glad to have you here.
Good afternoon, Kenneth. It's good to be here with you guys.
Listen, first and foremost, don't you know that you're Latino?
Yeah. You know what? I get people actually come up to me and they tell me that. I mean, how is it that you're Hispanic and you're conservative? But
yeah, just like they come up to me, and Sean reminds me often of how white I am. And I want to thank him for producing this segment. Listen, in all seriousness,
sure.
Regarding the election coming up,
yes, sir.
There have been great themes put out that Donald Trump as a racist, bigot, prejudice, that black people, white people, Latinos, whoever, shouldn't vote for him because of that. Is that what you're receiving from your neighborhood?
Yeah, well, I guess I'll give your audience a little background. I'm from Texas. I'm actually from South Texas, and there in South Texas, a lot of people have come up to me, and you get like several types of people. You have that person who is, of course, being from South Texas, if people don't know, it's predominantly Democrat.
Yeah.
And predominantly, it's a lot of Hispanics, right? So you have a lot of people that will come up to you and ask you, will tell you that, like, well, you know what, I'm going to vote for Hillary because, they've been doing that for generations. And that's what they say. The first thing they mention is that, you know what, that Donald Trump, he is, of course, racist, and he doesn't like Hispanics. I'm like, that's not the case. Show me where he's actually said that. So that's one thing. Then you have the other type of a person that comes up to you, and they actually, for whatever reason, Kenneth, people don't want to actually say it out loud, so they kind of come in and tell you, they whisper in your ear, so what do you think of Donald Trump? And I'm like, well, I mean, so I gave him my view. I'm like, you know what? I think, of course, he's a businessman. He is, of course. I don't think he's racist.
Yeah.
And I think that he's there. He's trying to be like the outsider, and he's trying to make a difference. But I do not see that he's just a person who's not going to care about minorities. And I think the reason being is because I guess being down there in South Texas, you get to see a lot of Hispanics, and most Hispanics tend to be very conservative.
Yeah.
But they vote Democrat.
Yeah. And
I think you're starting to see a shift, even in South Texas, where Hispanics are starting to warm up to the Republican Party because of what's going on with the Democratic Party. It seems like they're just becoming a more socialist type of political party. And so they will come up to me and they ask me, well, so what do you think? I'm like, okay, I just give my personal opinion.
Exactly.
And I don't know if you know this or not, Kenneth, but Donald Trump actually won Webb County in the state primary, where I'm from.
Really?
Yeah, he won actually several border counties.
Now, I want to ask you along this regard,
sure.
Okay, because most people believe that it was Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz just soundly defeated Donald Trump in Texas, and secondly, many people were thinking that Ted Cruz should have been the vice presidential pick for Donald Trump, at least to carry Texas and not have to worry about it. But your thoughts about that? Should have been Ted Cruz, or are you satisfied with Mike Pence, the governor of Indiana, being chosen today?
Well, I gotta tell you something, Kenneth. Actually, the person I was backing up was Ted Cruz.
Really?
Yes.
Dude, we're on the same team.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, he's a person, people might not see him because he's a politician, but he was actually an outsider. I mean, what he's done as a senator in just a short time. I mean, all the what he was like. If you go into YouTube, when he did his filibuster on Obamacare, if people actually get to watch that, when he embarrassed Feinstein about the Second Amendment, if you actually go on YouTube and you see what he's done and the bills that he sponsored, he is actually the real thing. He's the closest that you're going to get to Ronald Reagan, who is Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
And my brother and I have had that discussion and he's the one who brought it up. It's like, now that Ted Cruz is going to be speaking at the convention, it's like 1976 all over again.
Yeah.
Well, he's a little bit older than me, so he kind of remembers that. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I think there was an opportunity that was missed, and him not being the nominee. Now, I think Donald Trump did make a mistake in not choosing Ted Cruz. I think if you would have chosen Ted Cruz, then you're going to be getting the conservatives, hopefully, on board. So,
listen, I am so pleased that you brought that analogy up.
Yes.
Oh my God. People forget that Ronald Reagan didn't win the first time he ran.
Yes.
And that Gerald Ford considered him a serious threat to the establishment in Washington D.C.
Yes, sir.
And they made a deal. You can speak.
Yes.
But I won't pick you as vice president. And the crazy thing was, Ronald Reagan gave one of the best speeches in the history of Republican conferences in 1976. You were absolutely right about that one.
It might be deja vu all over again, where Ted Cruz might steal the show this time around.
Exactly. I'm thinking the very same thing. Your thoughts regarding Mike Pence. Was that a safe choice?
Yes,
today?
He was.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. He was a safe choice. I thought maybe Newt Gingrich would have been a better pick. Mm-hmm. I mean, he has vast experience. He, of course, also had the contract with America back in the 90s. He has a proven track record. But I think that he's another one who has this personality that's very big.
Yeah.
I don't know if they could have coexisted.
Yeah, exactly. I think he'd be a great chief of staff.
Yes.
And I'm thinking he's going to be along those particular lines.
Yes.
And
he's a knowledgeable guy.
I mean, huge. But also, he's been on both sides of climate change.
That's true.
he's been for global warming and for against global warming. So one of my big concerns about Newt Gingrich.
Yes.
Listen, the first podcast.
Yes,
Why did you do the first podcast?
I think we're in the same boat, but of course I'm not in the same level. But we're in the same boat in that we're passionate about politics.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm not speaking for me and my brother. We don't like the direction the country's heading.
Yeah.
So I really wasn't involved until maybe about 2 years ago, that I really started getting involved. And I want to say, you know what? We need to go and speak out and actually spread the message. And that's why we're doing what we're doing, is spreading the message.
Now, you're becoming huge in the state of Texas.
Yes, sir.
Because you talk about not only national issues,
yes, sir,
but local issues.
Yes.
The Rush Limbaughs of the world, the Michael Medveds, they're not talking, Michael Savage, they're not talking about local issues. Why are you talking about local issues?
Well, recently that we speak about local issues is because we're also... That's our hometown. It's our hometown, and we care about what's going on in that area in South Texas. There's right now a congressional race going on, and we had Mark Worthy, who's African American. He won in the Valley. Mm-hmm. He beat out Ruben Villarreal, and he's going to be running as a Republican against an establishment type Democrat. So, I mean, hoping we can support him and start changing things in South Texas. And I think that's more than anything is start changing what is occurring generation after generation, and that's what we're passionate about. We want to make sure locally also that that we can support the grassroots movements, and it starts in our communities.
A lot of people falsely give us the title of being courageous and heroic because we value our opinions, and we go on the air every night and we talk about those particular opinions or whatever. And they say, well, gee, it's good to have at least a Latino or black talking about these particular issues.
Yeah.
But it's not not heroic. It's not courageous. It is being an American.
Exactly. You're 100% right, Kenneth. It is about being an American, and we have a responsibility. Because I think Ronald Reagan said it best. Liberty can be lost, or freedom can be lost. I'm paraphrasing here. Within a generation.
Yeah.
And if we don't do any speaking out, trying to have people listen to our message, then we're just going to be doing like that, go along with get along, and we can't do that because I personally don't like where our country is heading, and if there's going to be a threat to our freedoms or liberties, I'm going to speak out against that.
Exactly. We're talking today with Javier Salazar, who is the renowned host of the first podcast. We hope that he'll be joining SHR. I'm recruiting here, but I'm telling you, I love this guy. And we're here at Freedom Fest in Las Vegas. I want to ask you, sir, why did you come to Freedom Fest?
Actually, Kenneth, it was last year. It was my first time that I came here, and I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I got here. I got to listen to Marco Rubio, Donald Trump. Who else came and spoke last year?
Rand Paul was here.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Glenn Beck was the other one.
Yes.
And then Nesta Souza. So that's what attracted me to Freedom Fest was all these people who came to speak. And when I got here, I was telling my brother, it's an experience that I will never forget. In which I got to meet all these different types of people. Mm-hmm. Like if you walk the exhibit, you get to meet ordinary people who are trying to make a difference.
Yeah.
And they're very passionate about the organizations that they're backing up. So that's what actually attracted me was I wanted to see what it was about. And this is the second time I'm here because, like I said, I was very impressed with Freedom Fest.
Exactly. George Foreman will be speaking tonight.
Yes.
Don King will be here as well.
Exactly.
So this, I adore Mark Skousen because he's done a wonderful job reaching out.
Yes.
To variant populations to attend this particular event, and also the diversity of opinion.
Yes.
That's civilly respected here. There's no infighting. There's none of this, crazy stuff. It's people spreading their ideas and talking about them.
It's truly freedom.
Yeah, no, it's liberty here in our presence.
Yes.
Now, just want to ask you. Regarding these fronts,
yes, sir.
We're looking at somewhere in the area of about 90 persons who are dead right now. 50% of those remaining that were wounded are on critical condition and may not make it. Your thoughts, and as well, Texas's thoughts regarding terrorism and its impact on America.
What happened is it's very tragic, and how can you put yourself in those shoes of that person who would just ram his truck, and do what he did, right? I mean, it's there's no word to describe something like that. And my heart goes out to those people. They're in my prayers, and it's something where not only is it, do you have like the French president, but also like our own President Obama, and other world leaders need to start speaking up against radical Islam.
Now, are those in Texas, South Texas, where you are? Do they see it that way?
That's a very good question, Kenneth, and let me tell you why. People, they see it in the news, but it's one of those it will not affect them unless it affects them personally.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. I don't know if you know or not, but maybe a couple of months ago they actually caught some Syrians in the border. They're in Laredo. Mm-hmm. They were trying to cross illegally into the United States, and it freaked a lot of my friends out.
So when it becomes real to me, then we have terrorism.
Exactly, and that's what that's when a lot of people actually started asking me, wow, where does Donald Trump really? Do you think he's gonna do what he said about the wall and immigration? Because it scared them.
Yeah,
and I think when they see it on the news, okay, it has an effect. But when it happens to you in your own backyard, it has a very profound effect, I think, on people.
Javier, you have a great voice.
Thank you.
For not just radio, but for the people of Texas and for around the world. I hope that you come on board. I'm sending out the application for you to join SHR. No, just kidding in that regard. But your voice is so needed in today.
Yes, sir.
And you have been a great benefit to me here, and I really appreciate you. Javier Salazar, how can people listen to you and your brother on the first podcast?
First of all, I want to thank you for the opportunity, Kenneth. I know that SHR Media and, of course, the Exceptional Conservative Show, I really want to thank you guys for having me on your show. And people can actually listen to our show. If you go to Facebook, go to the First Podcast Radio, make sure that you like our page. And also on Twitter, our Twitter handle is at the First PR. It's TheFirstPR. So, I really want to thank you guys for the opportunity.
Now, when can people hear you? Is it what days of the week, or?
Since we have full-time jobs, we record on Sunday and we upload on Sunday.
See that makes you a conservative. See, you work and are patriotic in terms of doing this work, because most of the other people are just sitting on the couch with their Obamacare and in their mama's basement. Yeah. Listen, Javier, thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
It's a great pleasure having you on the Exceptional Conservative Show live from Freedom Fest 2016. We just saw Mark Skousen go by. We are awaiting George Foreman, Don King, and so many others. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't gone to Freedom Fest, listen to Javier and Ken. You need to be induced to do it. Somehow we will. We will leave dollar bills here for you to pick up. Yeah, just by coming to Freedom. No, we're not going to do that. But I recommend highly that you come to Freedom Fest. I also recommend highly that you listen to the first podcast. We'll be back with more of the best at Freedom Fest.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.